Katia and Marielle Labèque, playing the concerto for two pianos by Proms. Yes, I think we got what Zoe was talking about there. Loads of variety in that piece, from musical to Mozart. Seems to have gone down very well with the Albert Hall crowd. The two sisters are not twins, but they do appear to have some sort of intuitive understanding of each other. Not surprisingly, as their mother started them on the piano at the ages of 3 and 5, respectively. They've made a name for themselves in the contemporary repertoire. They've worked with most of the major contemporary composers, including Andreasen, Boulez, Berio and Messiaen. There we are again. Yes. They don't just do new music, they're also well known for their recordings of Baroque, and it's their desire to build bridges between old and new music. So they've even created their own recording label called KML Recordings, Katia, Marielle, Labèque. Okay, they're known for their great style. Tonight they're wearing outfits made especially for them for the first night of the Proms by the fashion house Prada. Oh, and they're going to do an encore. Fantastic encore. I wonder if they've played that before. It's a polka by Adolfo Berio, who's the grandfather of Luciano Berio, also a composer, obviously. 4 hands there on 1 piano. Don't need the 2 pianos. Much easier than having 2 brought up every time. There they are again. Still in the Prada. They're the leading 2 piano players of their generation. Yes, they're going to be back twice more this season, as the piano is featured throughout the Proms. In fact, there's going to be a UK premiere of a piece by Louis Andreasen on the 17th of August. Well, there's an interval now in the hall, and I have great pleasure in welcoming Roger Wright, the controller of Radio 3 and the director of the BBC Proms, who has come to tell us about the forthcoming season. It's the second of you being in charge, is that right?
That's right, yes. It's wonderful to be back here again, isn't it?
Well, it's always back at the Royal Albert Hall, though, isn't it? But I mean, I can't imagine how what a stressful night this must be, and I suppose every night. I mean, are you worried about all the organisational things that go with a season like this?
No, when you've got great colleagues, as I've got, it's a small but expert team at the Proms.
Yes.
And obviously we've got a massive amount of support both within the BBC but also externally. You know, it's not a question of one person planning this. No. It's a way in which I can then deal with all the people who want to offer ideas, the people who want to play, the people who want to come and visit us, the visiting orchestras, loads of different ideas coming in, so it's a light hand on the tiller, really.
Okay, well, you're sounding like a sort of very polite politician at the moment, but how do you set about planning the whole season? Because it's not just a matter of one concert or a few, there's, what, 75, 76 nights? What themes have you gone for this particular year?
Well, we've tried to avoid themes, actually, because they've worked very successfully in the past, and there comes a point when actually you can run out of themes which have a significant meaning, particularly
like a centenary or somebody's birth, somebody's death, but you've gone for a bit for 1934. There's a focus on that. Can you explain that?
Well, it's partly that actually if music is worth playing, then often you can build some pieces around some rarities. So it's a particularly fascinating year, but actually if there weren't pieces that we wanted to include, there's no point in celebrating it.
No.
I mean, it's British music at the crossroads in 1934, the deaths of Elgar, Delius and Holst, and the births of Peter Maxwell Davies and Birtwistle.
Yes.
But within that, what we've done is
slightly
actually
coincidental, really, but
it is. But actually, we wanted to celebrate the music of Maxwell Davies and Birtwistle. We also wanted to bring to the Proms some rarities by those well-known composers. So beyond Holst Planets, we're actually presenting the first Proms performance of his first choral symphony, and not just on hearing the first Cuckoo in Spring by Delius, but his Song of the High Hills, pieces which are particularly well suited to this venue.
Sure. Now, for the Proms generally, I've been reading lots of pieces about the Proms leading up to this, and so one or two of them saying they're fantastic, but they're so comfy. You've got to sort of shock us a bit. You've got to put some odd things in. Do you accept that thesis that it's a well-established and well-loved institution?